Hey guys, this is Mercedes with Trim Podcast. Okay, Dill. Hey guys, this is Mercedes with Trim Podcast. I'm here today with some really special people. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and what they do. We're going to talk about our Veterans Day coming up. You guys know about the fellas. You know about how much we love Veterans Day and how big of an event it is for us. And coming up this year, we have 10 locations, so it's going to be a pretty big one. We've partnered with these awesome guys. Anyways, I'm going to introduce you guys to these guys. So you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah. So thank you, Mercedes, for, we can't express enough gratitude for you including our program. That's awesome. But yeah, I'm William Wiggins. I'm a former combat Marine vet. I'm a co-founder of the Utah Veterans Alliance, along with Tim Jensen. And so I'm born and raised from Salt Lake City, Utah. And I've been all over the world, but I came back home to Beehive State. I love it. So
Yeah.
And I am Tim Jensen. I'm the president and co-founder of the Utah Veterans Alliance. We started in 2017 as a way to give back to our military and veterans here in Utah.
Yeah. Are you guys only Utah based?
Yes, we are only Utah
Yes.
based. Yes.
Do you guys plan to go outside of Utah, or are you guys sticking here?
No, we see so many national charities that we wanted to stick with just within the Utah boundaries because there are a lot of veterans in Utah that need help.
Yeah. So we actually found you guys online. We were doing quite a bit of research. The thing is there's a lot of veteran charities out there, right? The hardest part about veteran charities is what do they really go to, and there's a lot of scams and stuff like that. So do you get a lot of questions of wait, where does your guys' money go? And do you get a lot of questions like that?
We hope that people will question where their money is going because, like you say, there are so many. I've been in the fundraising business for over 35 years.
Wow.
So I have run into a lot of ones that we've had to even have the FBI investigate and stuff that. So that was one thing that we really wanted to ensure the people is that, if you give to Utah, the money stays in Utah, helping Utah veterans.
Yeah. So tell me, why did you start Utah Veteran Alliance?
So actually, it's a whole story about my brother, basically. My brother, he's a walking miracle. He went to war a couple of times. He got deployed a couple of times. He was in the Army National Guard. And just to give you a little bit of history about me and my family, everybody in my family has been to war except my mom and my sister. So, we're pretty... we have a lot of pride in this country, and but my brother had, besides his accidents that he had suffered in Iraq, he was in OIF, Operation Enduring Freedom, anyway, he come home and he had an accident, and we almost lost him, but the grace of God, miracle, he survived. And so, I was working for Tim, and I asked Tim, I said, hey, Tim, why don't we start a veteran program, because when I had got out of the Marine Corps, and I'm not trying to bag on the VA at all. They do a lot of great things for the veterans and, and their families, but there's a lot of red tape that they have to go through to get any kind of assistance. Right. And so we created the Utah Veterans Alliance, to cut through that red tape. So
yeah. Is it because the VA is so monitored by the state? Is that what the deal is?
Yeah, that's one thing when we started this. We wanted to make sure that we weren't regulated by state or federal stuff. We just wanted to remain a public nonprofit. And like Will was saying, is the reason that we did that is because we can turn around a request for help, whether it be for rent or food or auto or home repairs, within 7 days, where it takes the VA sometimes 6 to 9 months to even get a wheelchair for a veteran. So so that's why we started, is just to get that expedient help to the veterans that need it.
Yeah, it is true. We've worked with the VA quite a bit, just we've done classes for them and stuff, and so men's mental health or how to take care of yourself type stuff. And
that's awesome.
It's hard to get in there and just they're really strict about the stuff that we supply them with as far as like men's grooming stuff. And I'm like, you think that they would just take any sort of comb? But I mean, they're even picky about the combs that they give. And I'm like, do you think that veterans just would want a good comb? Like, it doesn't really matter. But they're just so regulated and so strict at the VA that it's really hard. But I mean, the people who work there, I feel like they're fighting against the odds, right? And trying to make it work and trying to do the best they can.
Red tape of government. It's tough. So.
Yeah, that's correct.
So it got started because of your brother. And what was the thing that you guys did for him? Like, because you guys don't just do, let me help you find a career. You guys help, like, I can help literally everything. So what made you guys not stick with, like, we're going to just help them get into careers, or we're going to help them get into building their yard out, or helping them with this, or getting them into a vehicle? So what made you guys just be so open with, like, just whatever you need?
Because the program didn't exist. Like I said, because our program is so diverse. I mean, we can, like you said, it's just everything from car and home. Just, if they're struggling to make a loan payment, they'll call us up or put on a request on our website and say, hey, I need this help. Now, unfortunately, we're not large enough that we can't do it every month to the same veterans, so we try and regulate that to one per year per veteran. But we've helped over 2,200 veterans since we started. Even though some of them are just real small things, but it means the world to the veterans that we help. So
how many people are in your guys' team? Is it just you two?
No, we have seven.
Seven of you have taken care of 22. 100 veterans?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's awesome. That's so amazing.
In 8 years,
That's crazy.
But rewarding as heck. That's the whole thing. So.
Yeah.
And then, on top of, our events that we host every year, we do classic and custom car shows. We do one at Willer Farm and also one in St. George.
Yeah.
And veterans love to get out, and it's just a day to honor them and recognize them, and they get to win awesome prizes. We've been told that we have one of the best car shows, huh, Tim, because of our gifts and things like that. So. Do
you two have some cool cars?
No, I actually was fortunate enough to win one in Wendover. I won a 67 Mustang, but.
Tim had one.
But I had one, but it's not me. I mean, I'm not a showy guy. I'm pretty basic, so I got rid of it in an auction. But it is really amazing to see. And the thing that surprised me the most was how many veterans are involved in the car world too. I mean, our first show, we probably had 100 veterans there this show that were just with the cars. And it's like, wow, I didn't even understand that it was that big.
That is the thing.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
Were you in the military too, Tim?
I was not. I'm doing this to honor Will's brother and also my two grandfathers, and I have 4 second cousins that are serving right now. So.
Yeah. What made you guys choose veterans? Like, out of all the charities you could have done, like, I know you said your brother, but, like, what would be your why? Like, is the why your brother?
The why is my brother. Basically, it's my family. It's me, because I am a combat Marine veteran. I served one tour in Afghanistan. And then it's all the veterans out there. There's just so many veterans that aren't getting assistance. And so, there's more people that need to get out there and, reach out to them. And veterans are very prideful. They don't like to ask for help. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing we really noticed. And
to add to Will, I think because we're both very patriotic and we love the country, and we're very grateful for not just his service and his brother's service, but all these men and women that have served our country. I mean, there's no better way to give back to somebody that gives us our freedoms every day. Yeah.
So, Will, my background is like really similar to yours.
Oh, really?
So I have 3 sisters that was in the military, and then my dad, and then my grandpas, all of them were all in the military too. I wanted to be a mom. I did not want to go into the military, but they were, and they all went to war. And when I first started the fellows, like, I didn't plan on the fellows being what it is now. Like, I got pregnant at 15, and I didn't graduate high school. I barely passed my GED. So to think that I would own a business or multiple businesses didn't really seem like a possibility. But when I first opened my first shop, I was like, there was all these people that were like, you should be behind something. Like, what's something that you feel like really passionate about? And I'm like, I feel really passionate about veterans. You know, my family served, you know, and like my sister, like it really affected them. And then I started noticing what you're saying. So about the VA and how difficult it is for them to like get resources. And so when we put on our Veterans Day event, like we always have like a suicide awareness kind of people here. We bring Monster here, like we bring tons of cool stuff, like Monster energy drinks, like,
awesome.
and just really try to like lots of resources of people here to like help support them. But yeah, that's kind of my history too. Is like that's why I wanted to get back to veterans. Is like it's home to me. Like that's my family. My family is veterans, and I'm super patriotic. I was born on the 4th of July.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Better
and,
not tell you when my birthday was then.
And yeah, so I'm like, look, I share America's birthday, and I love our freedom, and I love our veterans, and you can't describe the day. So Veterans Day here at the Fellows, we don't do it on Veterans Day. We've experienced a lot of what you just said about how they are like prideful and they don't want to come in and get those free services. That's actually one of the hardest things for us is to actually get them to come in because they're like, no, I can pay. Like, don't do free stuff for me. And I'm like, oh, just let us get back to you. Like, please let us get back to you. But one of the coolest things about when we finally do get them is the stories. You know, it's like you can plan on being, you know, everyone will have shed tears the whole day. And it's like the stories these veterans tell you, you're like, I can't believe like I ever complained about like, you know, anything that I've ever complained about when you hear about their lives. And it makes you so grateful for your life. And I like go home and I tell my kids, I'm like, y'all are little shits. Like, y'all got no idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, you should hear the stories I heard today. Like your life is not rough, I promise. And yeah, I mean, you leave that. So all of the barbers do it for free. It's volunteer day.
That's awesome.
It's required to work at the Fellows. You have to volunteer that one day. And it is the most beautiful day that you experience. It's so draining. By the time I leave, I'm like, I've cried the whole freaking day. And it's super media covered, which kind of sucks, right? Like the media kind of sucks. But it's cool that they're showcasing it, but it kind of almost ruined moments a little bit of like cameras in your face. I'm like, we don't do it for public, for that media. The media just happens to know we do it and they pick it up. But it does help get us more veterans in, so I do like that. But man, like those stories, or I can just remember, you know, like helping veterans get into the chair, like literally picking them up and putting them in there, and just it's so cool. It's just a beautiful experience, and like I said, every year we raise like thousands and thousands of dollars, and when we get to finally hand you guys this check, like we'll do this year, it's just like an unbelievable feeling, you know, to know to like you're gonna give back and make differences in people's lives. And I love what you guys do. I think it's great that you guys don't limit yourself to one thing, like, oh, we're only going to help with your mortgage. Like, oh, we'll help you with, you know, your house, or we'll help you with your car. Or I read like a review and it was like, I think you had just helped them with like maybe their back porch, or I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a
backyard or something.
We did a big backyard project down here in this area.
That's amazing.
And that was one of the biggest ones we did. I mean, I think that cost the charity about $13,000.
That's a lot.
But it was like, you know,
it was worth
when
it,
it was all done, because the gentleman and his wife that we helped, he was a military guy, he was a volunteer sheriff, he worked firefighter training and stuff too. So I mean, it was
could barely
not
walk.
everything encompassed in the same thing for a first responder.
I would love to hear like a story from you, like either one of you guys, of like something that you guys have done inside of your charity that was like, wow, this was like, I know what I'm doing, and like not that I know what I'm doing. What I'm doing is so important to me, and this is why. This is my why.
Well, I think the first one that I can remember was a gentleman up in he was in Weber County. He lived up by Pineview Reservoir. He'd taken a bullet near his spine during combat, and when he called us, and it was probably the one that was the most tear-jerking one too, is he called us and he said, all I want to do is be able to walk my dog. And I says, I'm not sure what you say by that. And he said, well, I'm in a wheelchair. He says, but I've asked the VA. He says, they don't really understand this because he said, I can't really use my arms. He says, but they keep sending me these manual wheelchairs. And he says, I can't do anything. He says, can you guys get me a motorized wheelchair so I can walk my dog? So within it was about, I think it was 12 days. I contacted a group in Ogden, said, here's the deal, we need a wheelchair, what does it cost? So to be able to deliver that to him and see the joy of him walking his dog was just amazing. So that's my story, and it still gives me chills to tell it and to remember it. So it's
and just what a simple
but it's
ask,
but it's one of several.
everything.
I mean, I could go on all day. Obviously, I'd like to hear Will's story and finish the podcast. So
yeah. What would be yours? Like something that just hit you?
Honestly, I met a veteran at the VA, and he was a World War II veteran, and he had so many issues, and he didn't even want to really ask for help, but I could tell that he needed help, and I said, well, here's my business card. I'm co-founder of the Utah Veterans Alliance. It's a local program here, and we help veterans. And he's like, yeah, I don't like to help, ask for help. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm a Marine veteran myself, sir, and we want to honor you by helping you out. And so, just give us a call. So that was something that really stuck with me. I mean, there among other things, but yeah, there's been a lot of memories, with veterans. I've had hours of conversations with veterans, especially at the car shows. We do a car show at Southern Utah Veterans Home, and a lot of them, they come out there and they just want to talk and have a conversation.
Yeah. Are you guys doing more like classic cars out there, or just any kind of cool?
Classic, custom. If it's a brand new vehicle and you got a custom rim, you can enter it in.
We don't charge and we don't discriminate. So anybody that has a cool car, come on out. And by the way, I don't know if I can plug it, but it's October 19th at the Southern Utah Veterans Home in Ivins. It runs from 9 to 1:30. We'd love to see everybody come out that gets to see this podcast. So
I love that.
And something to add that we didn't talk about. So our main goal and mission is we're working to get a Heroes House built. Which would be a transitional facility that would help not just homeless veterans, which there shouldn't be any homeless veterans at all, but active military members, because when they get out, they don't know where to turn. They're used to a system, just like I was, because when I got out, I lived in my buddy Joe's garage, his mom's garage with him, and so that's how I started. And like I said, there was the VA, but this transitional facility, give them a chance to get a job, help them resources with finding a job, hopefully with a savings account, get back on their feet. They'd have 3 meals a day. This is our main goal that we want to get done. So.
Have you guys already started on this facility, and where are you guys at on this?
No, it's pretty much in the infancy stage. I mean, we've talked about it several times. It just takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we've met with a couple people already, and so we're just inching along because a few years back, obviously, when the pandemic hit, prices of everything just went skyrocket. So our $10 million plan went to $35 million, and then it's kind of like, oh gosh, that's a lot of money. But it's a great investment. If anybody, anybody out there would know that to help a veteran, get through even education and finance help and all that stuff, it would be a dream come true for us.
Is this full-time job for you guys?
It is.
Yeah, we do this full time. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome that you guys are able to do this full time and be able to help these guys.
Mostly 7 days a week for me because I have a couple veterans that I go cut their lawns and I help them with their security and their sprinkler systems and air conditioning or whatever. So I have a couple of them that I do that on a regular basis because they live fairly close to my home. So they're calling me all the time saying, "Can you help with this?" Sure.
Yeah, I'm constantly talking to veterans too, even on the weekends. I mean, to me, it's just,
It's your life now.
Yeah, you just always be helping, So.
And you're grand. Well, you guys, our Veterans Day event is going to be on November 13th. It's going to be all day in every single one of our shops. You're going to have not rifles, maybe, big
You might win
raffles.
one.
Yeah, you might. There'll be big like raffle items all through the month. You can buy. I think the raffle starts the 13th of this month, so it'll be about a month long of buying raffle tickets. The money for the raffle tickets will all go to Utah Veteran Alliance. And then, of course, you can win cool stuff at the end. You'll probably see these guys in one of our shops, maybe a couple of our shops on the 13th. But yeah, we just wanted to introduce you guys to them and show you guys the impact that they're making on this veteran world. And we're super excited to team with these guys. And yeah, thanks for watching Trim Podcast. And thanks for... Oh, before we finish, can you guys tell them where they could donate to you guys?
Yeah, so you can donate at our website, www.4rutvets.org, and that's the number 4, don't spell it out. Letter R, letter U, letter T, vets.org. So.
Yeah, so if you want and you can't, if you live out of state or you don't live here and you're not able to buy raffle tickets, jump on their website and donate. And then if you are able to be here, make sure to come on November 13th for a free haircut and come buy some raffle tickets and help make a difference. Thanks for watching Trim Podcast.
Thanks, Mercedes.